Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the confusing world of business filings, and I've got a juicy one here from Grainger, where it seems like they're not selling shovels but maybe the tools to dig your own financial grave if you're not careful. Alright, so today we're looking at a very important document, an 8K filing from Grainger that was filed on August 1st, 2025. Now, normally an 8K tells us about big important things happening at a company, like major changes in leadership or big acquisitions, but this one is actually quite straightforward. It's mainly about them releasing their financial results for the second quarter of 2025. So the big news here is that Grainger announced their financial results for the second quarter, which ended on June 30th, 2025. Think of it like a mid-year report card for the company. This specific document they've attached is basically their press release. It's what they sent out to the world to let everyone know how they did. Usually these press releases have the most important numbers and a brief overview of what's going on. We don't have the actual press release content directly in this filing, but the filing itself tells us this is what it's about. The important part is that this filing confirms they shared their quarterly results on August 1st. Now, are a pretty big deal in the industrial supply world. They sell a ton of different products that businesses need to keep running, like maintenance supplies tools, and those little bits and pieces that you don't think about until you need them. Their stock trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker GWW, so that's how you'd find them in the stock market. This section just tells us what other documents are included with this filing. In this case, they've included the press release we just talked about as Exhibit 99-1. And then there's this Exhibit 1-4, which is a kind of digital tag for the filing itself, making it easier for computers to read. And finally, we have the signatures. This confirms that the report has been officially filed. Here we see the signature of Deidre C. Merriweather, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. This person is essentially the top number cruncher for the company, so their sign-off means these numbers are presented as official by the company. The date on this is August 1st, 2025, which aligns with when they announced their results. Now let's get to the juicy tuffet. Even though we don't have the detailed financial tables in this specific 8KK filing itself, the filing tells us where to find them, their earnings press release. We have to assume the numbers in that press release painted a picture of their second quarter performance. If Grainger reported strong results, it would mean they are selling more products, businesses are ordering more, and perhaps the economy is doing well enough for companies to invest in their operations. If the results were weaker, it would suggest businesses might be cutting back on spending or facing their own challenges. We'd be looking for things like revenue growth, meaning they sold more stuff than before, and profit margins, meaning how much of that money they actually kept after paying for everything. A growing company usually shows increasing revenues and ideally increasing profits. A company that's struggling might see revenues flat or declining and profits shrinking or turning into losses. We'd also want to see if they are managing their costs effectively. For a company like Grainger, a strong quarter would mean a lot of their customers, many of whom are businesses themselves, are in good shape. Now, looking at these results more broadly, based on what this filing indicates, they released their second quarter earnings. This means we can look at that accompanying press release for the real details. Without those specific numbers from the press release, it's hard to give a definitive analysis, but generally for a company like Grainger, a good quarter means steady demand from their core customers in manufacturing and construction. If they beat expectations or showed strong year-over-year growth, it would suggest they are navigating the current economic environment well. A potential risk for them could be a slowdown in industrial activity or supply chain disruptions, which can impact their ability to get products to customers and their overall profitability. On the flip side, opportunities lie in expanding their digital sales channels and offering value-added services to their customers. Alright, that's our breakdown of this Grainger filing for the second quarter of 2025. What's your take on their performance based on what you know about the company or have heard from their earnings calls? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.